All right, folks, this is Gene Fregel, guy mountain biking with my buddy Brian from BKXC, and today we're going to be talking about what is your oldest piece of mountain biking gear? Hey, folks, once again, Gene from Regular Guy Mountain Biking and my buddy Brian from BKXC, and tonight, we're going to talk about some moldy oldies over here. We're going to talk about some of the oldest gear we've ever had. I got an email, one of those advertising emails type of things from CamelBak, and it said it was about the reservoir, the bladder, and they were saying, we know it's 2 years old, it's time to replace it, and I'm sitting here thinking, only 2?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh damn, that's being generous. So that kind of brought up the idea. Well, what other things do I have for a really long time that I like to keep? So that's what we're talking about tonight. I got a couple things. You got a couple things, right?
Yeah, I got a few things. So it's funny because when I started this channel, I kind of started buying newer stuff just so I could talk about it in videos and have Amazon affiliate links and stuff that just came out. Like my CamelBak was doing just fine, and it is about like 5 years old. I got it right here.
There we go.
Like it's got plenty of miles on it, but I put it through the wash and it really doesn't have anything fraying or anything bad. The bladder is kind of beat up. That is one thing that is kind of funky, but yeah, I'm not very cool with my stuff. I wanted, this helmet is 5 years old that I've had for a long time. And
wow. I
would love a nice POC helmet or something nice, but I don't take many hits on the head. I don't think I've ever hit my head. So it's good. It's a good thing. And then, that's my helmet. And then my pedals, which are just
I forgot about that.
Scraped up and scratched up. These have been around for a while. And I remember telling the story, but when my bike was stolen, my mountain bike, my pedals were off because I had just been on a demo day. Right. So these are kind of sentimental that I still use these pedals. They went to Spain.
That's awesome.
They'll travel with me kind of thing. That I had these off of the bike. I just happened to have them off the bike when the bike
was a close one.
So, yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, and then my Garmin that is all beat up and lost screws, and this is the second screen that I've broken on it, and it still works. I'd also like a new one of those, but
they get pricey.
Got to have a few more subs, I think.
Yeah. I think you're doing pretty good with the subs, man. You're doing excellent, man. You're doing amazing.
Thanks.
But no one else happens. You get attached to the gear after a while. You're kind of I remember taking this on that one trail, and then getting rid of it. You kind of feel it's like you're getting rid of a friend over here. You're like, oh, you've done all these things with me. Why should I get rid of you? Now, these are really, really old, dude, but it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's funny you have a CamelBak. That says something to CamelBak over here for the quality, really right? This was one of the original mules. Now, we're talking about 20 years old here, dude.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
This one smells like a mule. You know what I mean? Now, luckily, I have gotten rid of the bladder because that's probably got some it's probably got
creatures.
I don't know, right? It's like a petri dish with some of the mold inside that sucker. So that's been replaced. But
I never had any problems with mold until I started using Gatorade and other stuff. I had water in there for years and years, and then I was like, oh, I get cramps. So and then all of a sudden the black spots were in there. I was like, oh crap. But I mean, my buddies would always say, what do you wash it? What do you do? Nope, I sometimes would leave the existing water in there and it would be fine for a while.
Well, I'm giving you that face.
Then I'm still alive.
I'm giving you the face, and then I just looked over and I said, wait a minute. My bladder is sitting right there from my last ride. I haven't emptied the water out yet. So I'm going to take that face back because I got nothing to face about. It's sitting right there.
Take a good look in the mirror, my friend.
Yeah, dude, you're right. Well, know what? In a way of here's what I do personally. I freeze mine. After the ride, I dump the water out.
I'm doing that now.
I put this. You could have freaking alcoholic beverages in there, and because as long as you freeze it, it'll kill it. But yeah, you're right. Once you start getting into any kind of not water type of thing, it gets stuck in the cracks and
fuel for the bacteria that's just there. Yeah,
it gets kind of then you don't want to get the runs in the middle of a trail, but not so much.
Giardia.
That's a whole new video. But this thing has lasted forever. And I got no problems with it. The only reason why I got another one was because, see, here's why I've replaced some of my gear. Technology's changed. I mean, we're talking 20 years, and the problem with this one, they didn't have the cross, the chest strap.
Yep.
So as much as I'll still use this every once in a while, but it bounces around too much.
Yep.
But they didn't
and the
have
hose
the chest
kind
strap.
of flopping around and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So I ended up replacing this one with another mule that I like as well. But that's the only reason why I took. In fact, you're a good point. I don't know if you can see this or not, but right here, let me try to get it over there on the screen. I've got two valve clips because it bounced all over, just like you said.
Yeah.
So I had to hold it in place, and that seemed to help a little bit. But the only reason why I'm not using this is because technology's changed.
Yep.
So it's not like the bag doesn't work, but yeah, something is a little bit better now.
Yeah, and it's just like my bike. I'd still be riding my, my Yeti SB66 with 26-inch wheels and be getting probably double takes everywhere you go. Like I remember talking to some guys at a bike shop that were like surprised I still had 26-inch wheels.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. Not everybody is going to buy a brand new bike, especially an expensive bike every year. So, but I did end up getting a brand new bike, and of course I love it. So
yeah. Well, I'm gonna do something on that pretty soon. I had a bit of a weakness. Yeah, it's not a new bike; it's a new to me bike, but it's because it had to be because again, folks, remember, regular guy mountain biking means regular guys can't afford these bikes, and this is a very, very expensive bike that I would never have been able to get before. Before I still can't get it now, but I was able to get it used from a local bike shop. I'm going to be following that video up with actually an interview at a local bike shop real soon to talk about this. Anyway. So yeah, I've got a bit of a bling machine coming up that I'll do a video on. That was pretty sweet.
Can't wait.
So I got one more for you over here. So here is my, was it Topeak? That's how you pronounce it, right? Topeak. Topeak, because I know you do.
I talked to him in Airbike.
Mavic. So I don't want to.
Topeak. There we go. Topeak.
But it's their MacGyver.
Change the name.
Whatever. I don't know. I'm never. But good company. Anyway. So why again technology? So it had has the little chain. I can't believe I didn't lose this little freaking thing. So it's a little. I can't believe with all the trails. Again, at least about 20 years old.
Yeah.
But 10-speed chain. Like it doesn't really even
actually
fit
a whole width and everything. Yeah.
So I'm like, well, that ain't gonna help. And then the other thing too is like if you open this sucker up, it's got stuff that like there's no hex. Like all there's only the Allens, which is good, but there's none of the other hex ones. You know what I'm talking about? So that's becoming a bit of a start. Thank you. So that's becoming a bit of a standard. And same thing in here. Like I it's kind of heavy, and I'm like, what the hell am I gonna do with those? Like I don't even know what the hell they're like. There's something for the
spoke wrench, maybe the top. Yeah,
these are spoke wrenches. These are I don't know what these are even for, dude. I mean, and look, not for nothing.
It was a different time.
If I lost something on a trail that needs that, look, let's just say I'm fucked. Like if it fell in the grass and I'm trying to find a screw with that.
Maybe you start fires with it. You like get some twigs together and just
Oh my god, it's too funny. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this thing going, I think it's like a fish scraper. Like, what am I gonna do? Tough hill, I'm gonna gnaw onto some salmon. So I don't really. It's got a ton of cool stuff, but anyway, I just I bailed on this one because of technology and like it's kind of heavy, and half of this stuff I'm either not going to use or I don't even know what the hell it's even for.
Yep, it's true. It's so true. I really like my new multi-tool. So I bought my multi-tool, like the Topeak one, recently because I saw a video and I liked it. But my old one just kind of bounced around in my bag, and it was decent. But another 5-year-old piece of equipment, and your stuff will last 5-10 years if you're not concerned about keeping up with the Joneses and keeping up with the BKXCs. Like, just friggin' get your gear and do it. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, you can, it's that first bits and pieces of getting everything together is tough. That's why if you ride with a bunch of buddies or you find a group that is obsessed about upgrading, hey, yeah, I've got a multi-tool. Hey, yeah, I've got a CamelBak, because I've got that extra set of stuff now for if any buddies want to come ride with me, which is so good to have.
Yeah, I know. I when I go out on rides now, I've got up in the closet, I've got an extra extra backpack for somebody. So they've got the hell. I mean, at this point, I've got extra bikes for crying out loud. But, you know, it is nice to be able to help your friends out. But I do have to say that, to your point, if you buy something that's good, I'm not saying you have to go out and buy the new SRAM Eagle. I don't mean that. I'm just saying, like, this thing has lasted for 20 years because I spent a couple bucks on it.
Yeah.
The CamelBak. I mean, folks, notice how we didn't even like talk about this ahead of time. The first thing we wanted to talk about was the CamelBak.
Yeah.
If you buy a piece of crap, you bought a piece of crap. Now, okay, so we've had these for how many years? If you prorate the, $100 it might have cost?
Yeah, like per mile, a lot of gallons of sweat in that thing for sure.
Just buy something decent because you're going to replace it, or know what's going to happen? You're going to be out in the trail and the damn thing is going to malfunction. You're going to be pissed.
Definitely.
So definitely worth getting something good.
Trying to think of the stuff that I bought that kind of fell apart or that was kind of crappy, and it kind of all comes back to clothes for me. Like, it's kind of clothes I've worn holes in, gloves, and some of the gloves that I've had that have fallen apart, I think was more because of my sizing. So I have like some pretty decent big hands, and double XL I've found is like actually my size that won't tear gloves through. So I'll start wearing at the thumbs and the finger, and but yeah, a couple different shirts and things where it was like, oh, that was like a Yeti riding jersey that was kind of like a normal shirt. Like, that got a hole in it pretty friggin' quick. That's kind of sad.
With you. I agree. I think it's more the clothing. I can't say I've actually had a piece of gear that actually blew up or fell apart that I'm pissed off. But that goes along with me saying that I've also never bought a piece of crap.
Exactly. You know? There's a lot of stuff on Amazon that is like, you know, oh yeah, you can get a CamelBak or a CamelBak for $27 on Amazon. It might be good for one ride.
Right. So I mean, I'm sure I've had some things that I might not have been as pleased with its performance, but that's just because maybe I just didn't like the way it performed, but it didn't blow up on me. So, really, I mean, even my bikes, I mean, if I wish I could have kept them all because I just can't, but I really haven't had anything that's ever really blown up on me or anything like that.
Yeah. Me and my brother had some problems. Like, I've told this story before. Like, we had SRAM stuff on our very first bikes that were like, you know, they weren't department store bikes. They were decent bikes that were kind of, you know, maybe a demo bike, a couple years old. And we just had all kinds of problems with the SRAM stuff. So we went Shimano on our newer bikes, like my Yeti SB66 and his Pivot Mach 5.7. And Shimano was just awesome.
Fine for you.
But now everything is SRAM again, and my SRAM has been fantastic. I almost put 300 miles on my bike already with all this riding and everything.
Sure,
so
dude.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm interested in some of that stuff. Seth's got a video, I think, coming out if he doesn't have it already out for the box derailleur.
Yeah, I saw him post on Instagram.
Yeah, I saw him like, ooh, I was trying to get a hold of that myself.
It's like a different drivetrain thing or something?
Yep, it's a different way of the way it shifts and derailleur. It's pretty cool. You know why I really like it? I really like it because it's not Shimano and it's not SRAM. Just for the sake of the little guy, like, it's nice to see that something else could exist.
Yes.
You know, give an option.
And that's the thing. It's never been better for the little guy, but it's almost never been worse, right? It's like such a crazy dichotomy because there's a lot of little guy brands that are like super high end, that are like, oh man, Kitsbo, like that. It's like shirts and riding gear. It's like just super high end. And then, but if you've got a good product today and you can get it into people's hands, like, there's never been a better time. Like, for, oh my God, I actually like this. Oh man, I like this company. I like this thing. And like, it will spread like wildfire because people want to be different. And
well, I think part of it's also because of the internet. When you're the little guy, how do you get it into all your stores? How do you distribute it? Well, that's not an issue anymore. Hell,
get it on Amazon.
Guys like us, we're not even charging to do a review on them. So you've got all this marketing that all of a sudden came out from nowhere. You didn't even know, like Box. Well, I don't know if Box sent it to Seth or not, but let's just say they didn't send it to Seth. If they didn't and he bought it, so Seth is going to do a review on that. Probably going to be pretty good. So all of a sudden, this company he's got a lot of followers. All this review for nothing. So you're right. The little guy can actually do something now that they could never do before.
It's true.
Yeah. Well, folks, this was kind of a fun one, talking about moldy oldie stuff. And as Brian and I always do, we divert because we like to talk about stuff. But you know what I always do here right now? Folks, tell us about your moldy oldie stuff. Tell me about something that you keep, that you love, that you just don't want to part with. And if you did part with it, like we were saying, like technology changes. You're like, I didn't really need to, but quite honestly, what am I going to do with my 26-inch tubes?
Yeah. Take a picture and post it to Instagram and tag Gene.
Yeah.
So tag RGMTB on Instagram. Don't do hashtag. Do @ so he'll get like a notification.
Right, because I don't know how to search for the hashtag stuff.
Yeah, show it off. Yeah. Show off your piece of old gear. I'm going to do that right now once we finish.
Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah, show us your moldy oldies. Bring out your dead. All right, there we go. All right, thanks. This is a good one, man, my friend Brian. So, folks, hey, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one. Have a good one. Hey, folks, today's Wriggle Guy Mountain Biking Bike Chat backdrop was provided by Aiden53DH. Once again, that's Aiden53DH. Found this pic on Instagram. Really want to thank him for sharing it with us. Pretty cool pic of him hauling down the trail on his DH bike. So once again, thanks a lot, Aiden53DH, for sharing this pic with us.